everyone. My name is Karel Namok and I'll be reporting the systematic design model by Robert Diamond. So this model was originally developed in the early 1960s. It was known as a prescriptive and a rational, which means rational is given someone the privilege to reason out. This model was undergone a lot of revisions or a major revisions, but the structure remained. So just like the previous reporter, this systematic design model is also a linear process for curriculum development. And also, Robert Diamond said that some actions should precede others, and certain decisions should not be made until all relevant are known. Lastly, he also said that it is imperative that all data must complete before proceeding to the next step. So in systematic design model, there are two phases to be considered. First, project selection and design. Second, production, implementation, and evaluation. So I'm going to talk first the phase 1, which is the project selection and design. So you're going to make a project selection, you should consider the two different things, which are this establishing needs and ensuring success. So if you're going to make a project, make sure that you're going to establish or to look around what are the needs of the people. What are the needs that to be considered in making a curriculum? Second, ensuring success. What is the purpose of the project? It's the purpose of the project is to make sure that we can achieve success, right? So in making a project, you should put in mind that everything that you did is going to be successful someday. So there are basic planning inputs or project specific, which are the field of knowledge, student knowledge, attitudes and priorities, societal needs, research, educational priorities that lead to ideal sequence. So first we're going to talk about field of knowledge. Field of knowledge, which means, for example, me, I am a BA Ed student, so I should have the field of knowledge in all subject area. If you are a PPED, you should have enough knowledge of PE or physical activities. On the other hand, if you are BS English, you should have the knowledge about language, linguistic, and many more. Second, student knowledge, attitudes, and priorities. So you already have the field of knowledge. So now you're going to establish what are the attitudes, what are the students' knowledge, and what are their priorities that you need to consider. Third one is societal needs. So not student itself, but you're going to look in the community, what are the needs of the people. What could you gain or what could you give towards the people that really needs your help. The fourth one is research. Research is always there. Research, why do we need to have a research? Because for us to study that, is this topic or is this project is relevant or valid, and it could gain helpful or benefits to my people. And last is educational priorities. These educational priorities lead to the curriculum development, which means we're going to prioritize education in all terms based from all the observation we did. And these 5 things is called ideal sequence, which means it has a process and it is the idea of the people itself.
Hi, I'm Annie, and today I will be discuss one of the sequence in a phase 1 project selection design, which is the operational sequence. So in operational sequence, there are factors, which is the project specific factors. So there are 2 types of project specific factors, the curriculum projects and the course projects. So under curriculum project, there are 4 factors. It should be accreditation requirements, credit restrictions, fiscal and staff constraints, effectiveness of existing programs. So Accreditation requirements. So we all know accreditation is essential of educational institution or system in educational system as it validates the quality of the programs. The curriculum is designed to meet or exceed this accreditation requirements. So what are those accreditation requirements? The learning outcomes, incorporating specific course or content, or ensuring faculty qualification align with the accreditation standards. So let's proceed to the credit restriction. So curriculum designers must be carefully allocate credits to courses and ensure that the curriculum is structure adheres to this restriction. So curriculum designer must be carefully allocate credits to courses and ensure that the curriculum structure adheres to this restriction. So they may need to prioritize essential courses and content to fit within the credit limitation. Credit restriction. So the third factors is what we call the fiscal and staff constraints. So in these factors, curriculum planners need to make judicious use of available resources, which may involve seek cost-effective teaching method, optimizing staff allocation, or exploring partnerships with other instructional to share resources. So in a fiscal staff constraints, the fourth factors in a curriculum project is what we call the effectiveness of existing programs. So to avoid redundancy and ensure continuation improvement, it is important to assess the effectiveness of existing programs. So curriculum designers can conduct throughout evaluation of current programs to identify strengths and weaknesses of each curriculum. Now, let's proceed to the course project. First is goals. So, goals is clearly defined as the learning objectives or goals. So, curriculum designers or course designers focus on a SMART, the specific, measurable, attainable, reliable, and time-bound. So, these goals guides content selection and teaching methods in a curriculum. The second one is the time is limitation, including the duration of the course and available instructional hours impact course design. So, in action, course designers must be structure the course content and activities within the allocated time frame. So it should be allocated with a time frame. If 1 hour, it should be 1 hour only. So the third one is resources. So the availability of the resources or the instructional resources such as textbooks, technology, and teaching materials can influence course design. Curriculum designers also explore creative ways in which it is available resources effectively. The fourth one is student factors. Understanding the characteristic and needs the backgrounds of the students taking the course is vital for the effective teaching and learning. So designers tailor instructional strategies, content, and assessment to accommodate the diverse students' abilities, learning styles, and prior knowledge. That's what student factors. Let's proceed to research. In staying informed about the current research is the best practice in the field and is essential courses, relevance, and effectiveness in conduct. That's why curriculum or the course designer conduct a review of related research and literature to inform their course design. The last one is the grading and scheduling option. Clear grading and scheduling options impact student assessment in overall structure in the course. That's why the course designers establish the clear grading criteria and the assessment methods. Overall, some curriculum influences and sources are also acknowledged in the process of the curriculum development. The curriculum source and influence and used to determine the objectives of the curriculum. The model relies heavily data, Therefore, it is important to gather necessary information before proceeding to each of the process.
I am Julie Mary Ann Negrino, and today we're going to tackle the phase 2 of the systematic design model. So this topic is the continuation of the discussion of Ms. Caril and Ms. Annie. We all know that a systematic design model, it refers or it is not usually done easily because it has a process that needs to address in the implementation of the curriculum in the educational system. So let's start first with determined objectives. So in determining the objectives, it is important for us to know the learning outcomes of the curriculum to easily address and assess the needs of the students. So the objectives are the intended result of the program. We need to know the objectives of our learning experiences in order to align that with our students. We all know that in making a curriculum, we should also consider the characteristic of the students. Because according to Howard Gardner's, there is a theory or the multiple intelligence theory by Howard Gardner's that there are different learnings among the students. So ensuring that the objectives support the overall of educational aims of the program or the implementation of the curriculum in the educational system. The next one is select instruction format. So it is now the process in selecting methods or teaching strategies that should be aligned or that should be addressed in the implementation of the curriculum to really assess the learnings of the students. In that way, we could easily teach the students depending on the needs or depending on the teaching strategies that could be aligned to them. And it could also help in achieving the implemented curriculum. So it is also essential that we use or select formats that facilitate active engagement among our students. In that way, the teachers and the student interactions are much easier and much properly engaged to have a meaningful learning experiences. In that way, we could assess that our students are happy and also understand our topic or the discussion. The third one is evaluate and select existing materials. So this third process in the design evaluation and procedures in the phase 2 of systematic design model, this is the crucial part in the implementation of the curriculum. It's because this phase involves in assessing and determining which educational resources, materials, or content that we need to put or need na to ibutang ang nga curriculum in order for us or in order for our curriculum to be effective. This is the time that we need to erase those parts in the curriculum that are not effective and change it with a new one that much easier for the students. Okay, we all know in evaluating and selecting existing materials, why is it a crucial part? Because it is not easy to identify what are the things that need to assess about the students, and we need to change that because we face different students every day. There are a lot of students, a lot of differences. So, na iban na student na slow learner, na iban na student na fast learner. In that way, we could easily address the needs of the students. So, we need to integrate into that curriculum. So, in integrating a new material, we should also use the materials, or we should also change those things para sa akong gingon earlier that we need to change those things that are not effective with the curriculum and change it with a better one. So we need to identify the gap in identifying those content in the curriculum. So the fourth one is produce and field test new and evaluate materials. So this is the step after the evaluate and select existing materials. Because in producing and field test new and evaluate materials, this is the time that after the evaluation and selecting of existing materials, we need to test it in the real world or real world testing. So in that way, we could really assess if that curriculum is really effective or not by giving it or by implementing it or by being part of the real world curriculum. Mahimo na siyang part sa educational system, and that way kung usa tong effective gud niya, mura bitaw na siya muna ba na siya experimentation, kung effective ba na siya nga, bagong nga changes nga gibuhat. In that way, the purpose of that is to ensure the educational resources is really effective, and it also in a high quality to support the learning objectives. So, in these different steps that we discuss, we should always align our discussion or our curriculum in the objectives of the curriculum. So in the implementation of the curriculum, we should always align it in the objectives or the goal of that curriculum. And also the next one is coordinate logistics for implementation. So it is essential for us to ensure a smooth and successful implementation of the curriculum. So this is also to ensure that we can be effectively deliver it to the learners. Kaya diba, from what I've said earlier, that introduce and field test new and evaluate materials, diba gibutang na siya sa real world experiences, bali gibutang na siya sa educational system, na siya implementation. At a time, sa pag-coordinate logistics for implementation, we could really assess if that implementation of the curriculum is really effective or not. So, kung na-delivered ba siya sa mga teachers effectively to the learners, or na-delivered ba siya sa mga school ang effective ways or the changes of the new curriculum. And the last one is to implement, evaluate, and revise. So, in that way, we will implement the curriculum, i-evaluate na siya tagsa-tagsa, and revise. So, dili gid pwede nga usa ka curriculum wala gyud na siya changes, because our curriculum is changing every day. So, anong time, i-evaluate na siya, new curriculum or newly implemented curriculum, i-implement na siya, after that, i-evaluate na siya, and after that, i-revise na po siya. This is a repetitive process. Balik-balik yun na siya. Kaya, if we would implement, evaluate, and revise, we should consider the objective. And after that, we select instructional formats or the teaching strategies that align for the objectives of our students or the objectives of the curriculum, and evaluate and select existing materials nga ato itong i-change to ang i-change, produce and field test and new and evaluate materials, mo siya nga time nga nasa real world experiences, coordinate logistics for implementation, maki-coordinate siya sa mga school, if kadubang real world experiences, kadubang field test, and nabuhat ba siya effectively by the teachers, and implement, evaluate, and revise. Ano siya, babalik-balik na po siya, i-implement na po siya, i-evaluate na po siya, and revise, and then, balik na po sa design, evaluation, and procedures. So, these steps, or this step-by-step process in the systematic design model is a repetitive process in design, evaluation, and procedures to identify or to really identify the gap in the implementation of the curriculum, and for us to know if that curriculum is really effective or not.